I love you. And welcome back to the Couch Potatoes, to an episode that most people are going to think is going to go one way, specifically in regards to my opinion, and are going to be surprised if you stick around, I think.
Huh.
I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am very confused. And they call me the Faceless Leon.
They call me
the Faceless Leon. Welcome, Brigade of Faceless on the Couch. Woo-hoo.
Here we are.
Oh boy.
So excited. We're pumped up. What I meant by that is that if you've been around me the past 10 odd years and have ever talked to me about Little Mermaid, you've probably been immediately disappointed because I've always said I hate this film.
Yeah.
That's been like my first reaction whenever anybody just like starts talking about Little Mermaid. I'm like, oh, you mean the one I hate?
Yeah.
And it's because when I watched it as a kid, I've only watched it once. I only ever watched it once. I watched it as a kid, and I hated Ariel because of the decisions she makes. It really pissed me off. She does make bad decisions. As a kid, it pissed me off. And like, because like her main decision is, I mean, I'm jumping the shark here, or jumping way ahead. I mean, way ahead, not jumping the shark.
Hey, it works with this. So.
Yeah, it does. That's what I was going for. It was intentional sea pun.
Intentional.
Yeah, but no, she decides to give up her mermaidom to. We'll do the actual. We'll do the actual synopsis, but yeah, she gives up her mermaidom to be a human, to fall in love with this human guy that she saw above the waves just once.
That's right.
And I'm like, that is stupid. As a kid, I hated those kind of stories.
Sure.
Because I didn't believe in love at first sight. Like I think that's a little hokey pokey. And I'm writing a novel specifically about that. Because I like the story now. I like that idea now. But as a kid, those kind of stories like bothered me,
right? Because
like I could barely remember faces. Like as a kid, I would see a face once, and like I would turn around and be like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like,
this was also not my favorite,
right?
Growing up, but the music is great. I mean, the way that it lives in your head. Anyways,
I watched the show. I think wasn't there a show?
There was a show.
Yeah, I watched
a few episodes of the show.
Yeah, I remember liking the show as a kid. I don't know why I liked the show more. Well, but, I mean, it was grounded in Atlantis. It's
fantasy.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, what if there was a kingdom under the sea?
Yeah, and I just enjoy Sebastian. He's a funny
Sebastian
character.
Sebastian is funny. Yeah, Sebastian is a crab who is supposed to watch over Ariel, and he is played by Samuel E. Wright, and Ariel, by the way, is Jodie Benson.
Yes. I was curious if I knew them from anything else. Ooh, he was on Broadway. He played the role of Mufasa.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He voiced Kron the Iguanodon, a dinosaur. Kron the Iguanodon. That's awesome. And Jodie Benson. I feel like we talked about her recently, but I just don't remember. Like, I thought you had mentioned her in something. Maybe it was just in when we were talking about Lady and the Tramp, and we mentioned the sequel. I don't know.
Here's her filmography. She was
Barbie and Toy Story. We didn't talk
there.
That'd be a fun episode. Toy Story tetralogy.
Well, anyways,
it
stars her, and she. I don't know if it stars her as the singer, but I think it does.
I mean, I think it would say up here if it wasn't.
Yeah, you're probably right. And, she sings Part of Your World, and that's because she really wants to get up there and be with Prince Eric.
Get it.
That's right.
Wow.
For some reason, she thinks that, there's no problem there. They're with, splicing fish in human genes.
Yeah,
there's no problem there.
It's honestly,
she wants his baby.
That's one of the weirder parts of the movie too, is when she gets up there and like sees all of the fish slaughtering that happens.
Oh yeah,
and she's like totally like, oh my god, that's horrifying. Oh my god, I'll eat it. Like, I mean, she doesn't eat it.
Well, I think they say that the mermaids aren't vegetarian.
Oh my goodness! They just force everybody to come to their city and like, their society isn't great either. Like it definitely has.
Everyone else is in servitude to them. Yeah. Triton is the king and father of Ariel.
Kenneth Mars.
He's played by Kenneth Mars.
That's a godly name.
He has a lot of daughters.
Yeah.
Which is also true in the original story. So I feel like we kind of did the synopsis. The story is really kind of simple. Besides the fact, we didn't mention Ursula.
No, we gotta mention Ursula. She's awesome.
Yeah, Ursula is probably one of the best Disney villains.
Yeah, literally, like, the only thing I remembered as a kid was loving Ursula.
Ursula is pretty amazing. She is this octopus who is,
based off a drag queen.
Personified as a drag queen, yes. And
who was the drag queen?
I don't know.
Name? Let's give her a shout out.
But it was played by Pat Carroll.
Friday the 13th mom? It kind of looks like Friday the 13th mom. It's not her. It's not, but doesn't it look like her?
It does a little bit. So she, being Ariel, goes to the sea witch, Ursula, and she makes a deal with her to get legs.
There it is. Divine.
She wanted legs, new legs. And, based on Divine. Okay.
Yeah. Harris Glenn.
Makes sense.
Love it.
So she gets legs, but in exchange gives her voice to Ursula. Yeah. And she has like X amount of time in this version to get him to fall in love with her.
And that was like, honestly, as a kid and even still as an adult, was the thing that pissed me off the most. Is that deal that she makes with Ursula is so horrendously bad on both sides for Ariel. Like, that is a deal that if somebody offers you, any reasonable person would think about it and be like, no, there's no win in that for me. I get no victory. Like,
you basically took everything away from me strategically.
Yeah, the only time you ever make that kind of a decision, like if all outcomes do not help you, is if it's charity.
Yeah, but she's got some real rebel issues. Against Triton, so she's like,
and her tail is just wagging in need.
Yeah.
she's hot for human.
Hot for human. Wow, this is a kids movie, but barely.
Yeah, but a priest gets a boner at the end. They edited it out in the Disney version on Disney Plus. Like, I was looking for it and it didn't happen. But like, I can understand their if you guys don't know, Disney has the the issues of like the animators are working on this art for so long that after a while they'll start sneaking naughty things into it, like Sex in the Stars and Lion King. Well, Little Mermaid's one was that the priest at the end during the wedding ceremony gets a boner, and in the original animation, if you watch it, you can see it because he's like, as he starts to say, "Dearly beloved, we're gathered here," in his pants, like there's just a rise that happens. Like, I remember watching on the VHS and just laughing at it because it's just, and Disney was like, well, it was his knee. It wasn't a boner. It was his knee rising up. And it's like, sure, but why is he raising his knee?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there?
Lying.
And that's what they did in this animation, is they made it very clear that it was like the camera was kind of swooping. They did something to it so that like what was a boner is now changed to literally just look like a knobby knee.
Also, one of the towers...
The VHS cover?
Yes. Yeah. It was very clearly a pink dildo.
It was so obviously a dick.
Yes. So let's compare this story, because that was we didn't really do... I feel like everybody really kind of knows the Disney version.
Yeah.
Where it's got a happy ending, where Prince Eric and Ariel get together, with the complication of Ursula coming up as Vanessa, a beautiful woman who has Ariel's voice. So we know this story, but I feel like the Hans Christian Andersen version is a lot less known.
Right.
Which is, basically it's the same story until she gets to the shore. Right. Then it's completely different. There's also a grandma character that they totally cut out of the movie.
Yeah. And also, like, all of her sister characters just don't matter at all after.
Oh, they don't matter, and I bet they don't matter much in this either.
No, it doesn't seem like. I mean, it seems like they have a slightly bigger role though at the beginning and at the end.
Well, the at the end, it's Daughters of the Wind.
Oh, I thought it was her sisters that came
I don't
forth.
think so. It says other daughters.
Ah.
So anyhow, she wants to go.
But before dawn, her sisters rise out of the water and bring her a dagger.
Oh, so they do come.
Yes.
Oh, but is that before I think that's before she becomes wind.
What? She becomes wind.
Yeah, she does.
I know. I was confused by what you mean, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Though
they do help her to get rid of the sea witch. You're right, and they just kind of disappear in the movie entirely.
Yeah.
So in this story, she gets, she makes the same deal, whatever, except for when she walks, it feels like she's stepping on daggers.
Yeah.
And when she drinks the potion, it hurts a lot too.
Yeah, it's like a sword going through her.
And the prince becomes best friends with her, but doesn't know that she is the one that saved him. He thinks it's this woman that was a part of a temple.
Right.
And he loves it when she dances, and she does it because she loves him despite the daggers.
Yeah. Oh, so sad.
So yeah, she's supposed to make him fall in love with him, and if she doesn't, on the day that he marries another woman, she's supposed to turn into sea foam and die. No, I don't remember.
If she failed, she would just, because they live 300 years. She's only like 15 years old. She wouldn't get to live all of her years. She would just turn into sea foam and just cease to exist.
This is true. But that's another thing, the difference between humans and mermaids in this story is that mermaids, when they are done living, become sea foam and cease to exist. While humans, they die. Yes, they don't have a soul. Humans, they have a soul, so it rises up to the heavens. Yeah. And that's another thing that she really strives for. It's not just about her love for the prince, which I think is an interesting thing.
She wants that eternal life.
Yeah, she wants that eternal life.
Selfish greed.
It does seem like selfish greed. But because she strives for that, and she doesn't interrupt this marriage between the prince and this other woman, when she defeats the sea witch and decides to jump into the water and become sea foam, she instead becomes a daughter of air, as we mentioned earlier. And she has to do good deeds for 100 years, and then she gets to go to heaven.
Yeah.
So that is the main differences between the two stories. And wow.
It is pretty different, yeah.
It's pretty different.
Maybe it happened in the Little Mermaid sequel, the straight to VHS.
No, it didn't.
Well, maybe in the TV show then. Maybe in the TV show there's Daughters of Air.
We'll have to see.
Honestly, I don't even like the ending to the animation where, she accepts life as a human. She gets legs. And, like her father gives her away, like traditional marriage, it's
except for it's by the seaside, and half of the wedding party's in the ocean.
I know, right? But like, it's such a decision. Like, she makes this decision. I'm just like, it racks my brain. It's like you barely know this guy. Mm-hmm. You've been on one adventure. You don't know how he is as a person. Like, really, you've seen him as a hero, which is nice. He definitely did his duties to try to help. He got a little hypnotized or something. I can't remember.
Prince Eric and the movie?
Yeah. He doesn't really do much, does he?
I think he gets hypnotized by Vanessa, yeah.
But he does, like, when she becomes, like, big octopus form. Like,
he throws the trident at her.
Oh, my God, that reminds me. We had to talk about his underwater throwing is incredible.
Yes, it's incredible. It's like a harpoon gun.
He's just like, because if you're underwater, you're slowed, man. You can't move that 100%. Fast. But he had to be some kind of underwater god. Like, he just, like, chucked that shit so fast.
Well, the trident, blown away. When Ursula gets the trident, this is something that kind of gives Triton, the right to rule under the sea, is this trident. And when Ursula gets it, she, gets a lot more powerful.
Yeah.
And so maybe
He's holding back.
Maybe it gave his human body some underwater powers.
Maybe. That's true. Maybe it wanted to go forward.
It said, fuck Earth.
It's like all you have to do is fling your wrist, man. She was mean to me. I wrote that down in my notes. Gotta talk Eric's insane ability to throw a spear underwater. I wrote spear.
I'm pretty sure it's the trident.
Like fuck dude. I wrote like fuck dude.
Like fuck dude.
Jesus Christ.
So I saw that amount of time.
Yeah, we haven't.
I felt like we've been talking about it forever.
I know.
It's only been 15 minutes.
Right.
So real quick, since we're here at this lull, if you like what you're hearing, we usually do it slower. And if you like it and want to support our work, you can go to patreon.com/greenandfaceless. We'd appreciate that. We got a monthly episode that's Patreon suggested and voted upon. And we also have a show on there just for the patrons called Bangers and Hash.
Bangers and Hash.
So go check it out.
Bangers and Hash.
We talk about the TV and movies that we've been watching that we just can't fit into the show.
Yeah, like right now, if you want to hear my opinion on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, that'll be coming up on Bangers and Hash at the end of the month.
The last couple weeks are just a fucking blur, so I know I watched TV at that time.
Nice.
But I'll have to remember what
it was something.
Yeah, it was something.
But yeah, back to Little Mermaid. Is there much more? I mean, I guess we should talk Flounder.
I can't believe we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Jason Marin as Flounder and Samuel L. Wright. We've already mentioned as Sebastian.
Flounder is
Caribbean
Ariel's
crab.
best friend.
He's adorable.
And he's a little yellow fish, and he's a coward.
And he's super fat, and he gets stuck in windows.
Yeah, he gets stuck in windows that Ariel's impossibly thin body can fit through.
Yeah, well, she is 15.
She is 15,
Careful.
But yeah.
That's another thing. That's a big negative to this movie, is when she becomes human, she is nude. And and Disney is playing really hard around the not showing the 15-year-old's naked body, but my God, there were moments where I was just like, Jesus, I can't remember. Like, I did not remember these scenes.
Yeah, it's a little sultry.
It's a little much, guys.
Yeah, maybe. But still, there's just this one particular shot where she's on the rock. Right. That particular shot, her waist looks like it's the size of her spine.
Yeah, it's a little, it's crazy, man. She's super, not, I don't want to say anorexic. But
she's fisherexic.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
Okay, maybe that's not funny.
No, it's not. But, hooray for redheads. Representation, right?
Yeah, representation, exactly.
Got her. Is she our first redhead princess in Disney?
Probably.
Until Brave.
I mean,
Was Brave Disney?
Brave was Disney.
Okay.
Yeah. That might have been Pixar. No.
I don't remember, man.
It's Disney. I don't remember. We'll get there. They're both Disney in some way. It's all Disney. It's all Disney.
It's all Disney, man.
All right. How long have we talked now?
20 minutes, man. It's got to be. Nope. I think it's still fine to
we can do closing.
To do a closing. Because, I mean, okay. I'll lead into my closing with Scuttle. Just to, I don't really have anything to say about him, but he is funny. He's
Buddy
a little
Hackett.
seagull. Yeah, Buddy Hackett. He's hilarious. He's like a Bill Murray like character.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun. But I didn't really have anything to say. I just thought it was funny I wanted to mention him. Well, just to pad the time a little bit more.
Just to mention what he does. He's a seagull.
Yes.
Who has all the wisdom of the mortal.
That's right. Yeah,
world.
yeah. And Ariel would bring her little trinkets to him.
Yeah, she brings the trinkets. And he gives the most accurate description of what the doodads are for. And, for example, he knows exactly what a dinglehopper is. Yeah. Dinglehopper has a long handle. This time period is usually made from silver or other, rare metals.
It kind of looks like a little trident.
And it does look like a little trident, but there's usually 4 tines.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. And then you take this dinglehopper and you run it through your hair.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I love the scene. I love the scene where Prince Eric is looking up at her in the window, and she's combing her hair with a fork.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so funny. I enjoyed this one a lot as an adult. As I mentioned at the beginning, people might come into this thinking I was going to hate on it. I'm sure that I've seemed a little, I guess, downcast to it. I don't know. I don't know how I felt in the last 20 minutes. It's all a blur. But I actually enjoyed it as an adult. My second watching of it, even though I still think her choices are really stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Ursula. Ursula is such a badass queen bitch. I love her. She's great. Like one of my more favorite villains. And the voice acting is good. The songs are actually, I do enjoy the songs. A shout out real quick to the writers of the music.
Is it not
Alan Menken? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
great
this
Alan
is,
Menken.
I think, his first with Disney.
I believe so. I took notes. I didn't look at them at all, but I did. I should say this is the last Disney animation. One of the big notes I wrote down was the last Disney animation to use cells.
Oh, really?
It's all digital after this. So that's a little sad. But it's still beautiful. I think you are right, though. I think this is the first one with Alan Menken. And, it's good. It has a musical feel, like a Broadway, kind of like a stage play musical. And I actually enjoyed it as an adult. I give it 3.5 stars.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. I give it a face. Yeah. It's still not my favorite Disney movie. It happens very fast. I think... after a while, the love between Eric and Ariel is not superficial, but at first, it's extremely so. But I loved Under the Sea and Kiss the Girl growing up. I would honestly only sit in the room to watch the movie for those two songs.
I can agree with that. There's the other one too. What's the big? There's another big one.
Part of Your World.
Part of Your World.
But I'd watched the whole start of the movie through Under the Sea, and then I'd fuck off until the Kiss the Girl came.
Are you excited at all about the live action adaptation?
I cannot be excited for the live action.
Did you watch the trailer?
Anymore. Not with. They just confirmed with I almost called him Pikachu, the Pinocchio movie. Yeah, they basically just confirmed what I don't like about them is that they do the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I was at the IMAX theater watching Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Fancy, opening night.
Nice.
And it was one of the trailers that was put before the film was the live action Little Mermaid. I had not actually seen it. I remember hearing all of the hilarious people complaining about, Black Mermaid, what the hell?
Oh, God,
it follows it everywhere, man. And I was watching it just like all these people are complaining about that. I think it's just stupid. It's obviously stupid. Who cares? And you hear her voice and, her singing. I was like, you know what? I'm optimistic because, she's got a really beautiful voice.
Sing.
Yeah. She's got a really beautiful voice. And I think the effects look okay. It might not be a bad underwater film. It's not going to be Avatar.
Sure.
James Cameron's got that shit on lockdown. He's been keeping all of the special effects artists who are, really good at underwater wrapped up for the last, 10 years in his basement. So, I don't know.
When the fuck are we going to get that movie?
December.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh.
and then we'll get part 3, I think, next year.
Oh,
and
shit.
He says he can wrap it up. If part 2 doesn't do well, he can wrap it up after part 3. But if part 2 does really well, he's got 5 sequels planned or something like that.
So 6 movies in total?
I think so. It's crazy.
Jesus.
And it's all just because he wants to explore underwater, and he needs to build a budget for it.
Yep.
He's a fun mind.
He's an interesting human.
Oh, James Cameron.
But he has nothing to do with the live action of this.
No, he just wrapped up all of the special effects artists. So
that's right.
Disney was just like, what the fuck do we do? We can't fight James Cameron. We're Disney, but he's James Cameron.
So, I guess we talked about it.
We did.
Yeah, I hope we have more to say when we come back with Rescuers Down Under.
I hope we keep it at 20 minutes.
You do? Well, I don't know.
Disney's quick and fast.
This era, they were. But this is also the era where they're the movies that we probably watch the most.
Right, we'll have more. It's just weird for the first two because they weren't mainstays in my childhood. Like Little Mermaid, again, I only watched it once. Rescuers Down Under, probably two times. Like I know we owned it. I think I only
watched it once.
Yeah, I know we owned it. I know I watched it, but yeah, I definitely didn't watch that much. But after that,
I just watched it, and I gotta say, I'm hopeful to hear what you say.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'll get a message from me later being like, this fucking sucks!
Why did you get my hopes up, you fucking dad?
Worst Disney movie ever!
So, we'll come back at you next week with more Disney. Welcome back to the Disney playlist.
Yay!
We hope you enjoyed it.
The Renaissance is here!
The Renaissance. We're here in the Renaissance.
We're here. We made it.
We made it. Hooray. Now we can make good movies.
Yes, I've been the Green Traveller from Goosh.
And I am the Faceless Leon. Safe travels and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.